In the shock of the offseason, it's not really the offseason. I guess the playoffs are still going on in baseball. In the shock of the season, Matt Klentak is no longer the general manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. Contain yourself. Everybody breathe. Matt Klentak fired GM of the Phillies. Nope, that's not what happened. Nope, not at all. Here is what their press release said. I love this press release. I wouldn't do this. We fired 1 million people. You don't do this. Klentak in bold, top of the press release. Klentak steps down as general manager. Find me one GM who's ever stepped down. Find me one. You know when you step down. 1 millisecond after you've been fired. That's when you step down. But the Phillies announced that Matt Klentak has stepped down as the team's GM. Give me a break. What are we, stupid? You don't realize people are listening and watching to Nothing Personal and that we're going to get on you for this immediately? John Middleton gave a quote. I have stated publicly that winning is what matters. Thank God. Thank God that's what the owner said. Because absent him saying that, I never would have believed that winning matters. So then he had to add, not just in Philadelphia, but in all cities and in all sports. Is that a good quote to start when you're firing your GM? No. What have you learned from that quote so far? Nothing. He continues. While Matt made many significant contributions to the organization, hold on, I have a tear in my eye. Sorry. Thank you, Matt, for your significant contributions to the organization. We did not accomplish our goal of playing baseball in October. Consequently, we have mutually agreed to allow new leadership to head baseball operations. Bull hockey. There was nothing mutual about this. Ever. But they let Klentak have a statement. While I'm disappointed that we failed to reach our ultimate goal, I guess his ultimate goal is making the playoffs, I'm nevertheless very proud of the progress that this organization made over the last 5 years and of the people who worked hard to make that happen. Every GM, when they're fired or every time they say that, I'm so proud of my guys. Really, Matt? You proud of your guys, the ones who advised you on all the deals you made? The ones who said you can trade Sixto? Trade him. He's not going to be an ace. I promise he's going to have a bullpen arm. We're getting JT Realmuto. Yeah, you got to trade for Workman. Definitely get Phelpsy in here. Was that you? Was that your guys? Those are guys who we added to the bullpen this year. Remember, they made those bullpen trades, and everyone's like, oh, my God, they're fixing their bullpen. Joe Girardi's going to make the playoffs. And then he ended it with the sentence that's a copy-paste from every statement that a GM or anyone makes when they're fired. I'm grateful for all the support that I received along the way from Phillies ownership, friends and colleagues, and our loyal Phillies fans. You mean the loyal Phillies fans who booed you and who boo the owner and the ownership that just fired you? But you're saying that, do you know why? Because you want to get another GM job and you don't want there to be any record from any of the detectives out there that you did scorched earth. But believe me, I've spoken to people who've been fired. This guy here, scorched earth feels really good. So John Middleton, the owner, decided he better do a little media. And so he did. He went on a show. I think he went via Skype or Zoom or WebEx or Cover Me or Me Cover or whatever. Here's his quote on the show. It's not a statement. It's what his comment was. The overarching theme is he sold out Matt Klentak in a way I've never seen an owner sell out a GM before, especially when he had just fired, ever. I've never seen an owner ever be as disrespectful to a employee ever. And I've dealt with a lot of owners, from Jerry Jones to all of them. We've looked at so many on Nothing Personal. We've seen so many firings that we've dealt with over the year. We're almost at a year, Coca. Do you think CBS will let us get to a year? October 14th. Can you believe it? They may not. But if they'll listen to this show and say, we're white knuckling it. Get off the air. Get off the air, Samson. Nah, too many loyal listeners now. Thank you. Keep doing that. Middleton sold out Klentak. You just can't believe it. The fact of the matter is, he said, at the time it was being considered, it being the trade of JT Realmuto, who they got from the Marlins, who traded, and they traded Sixto Sanchez. He's claiming, this is the owner, John Middleton. You can make this trade and I'll approve it, but only if you extend JT Realmuto. If you don't extend him, don't trade Sixto. Well, I've been in the room with an owner and a GM. Can I tell you how that conversation really goes? Hello, owner. Let's look at the payroll here for the next couple years. We just signed Bryce Harper. You already went public saying that you're the one who signed Bryce Harper, and you let the $2 million bullpen arms go to the guys. So you're responsible for Bryce Harper's signing. Thank you, by the way. Happy to have him. But you told me when we signed Bryce Harper that we would be able to have a payroll of X dollars, because that's how we can fit in Bryce Harper and put people around him, because one guy does not a World Series ring make. Do you think the GM answers that question? No, that's the owner. So the owner says to the GM, you can sign him, but guess what? The payroll is going to be $190 for the next 5 years. Show me that 5-year payroll with our young players. Who's coming off like Jake Arrieta? Who's going on like Nola? So the question is, how could Middleton then say that the only way you do the trade is if you extend JT, when extending JT is totally up to you? The reason why JT did not sign a contract is because you didn't approve of going over the luxury tax. The reason JT didn't sign a contract is because you didn't approve of what JT wanted. When you traded for JT, you knew what he wanted because I went public with it. I told you, and I like JT. Had him with the Marlins. I told you, a great guy on and off the field. I know what he wanted to get paid. He wanted Joe Mauer and Buster Posey money, hard stop. That's the only way he'll sign. He wanted to set the standard for catchers, for the catchers coming after him. That is the only deal that he will sign. You're telling me, Middleton, that you didn't know that? You're lying. Of course you knew that. Don't sell out your GM like that. He then went on a tirade in a very calm way, saying that we weren't in a position to win. We were in our development stage when we made that trade, and we shouldn't have made it. It was not like bringing in Cliff Lee in 2009 when we had a chance to be the World Series champion. We were just trying to get back to the playoffs. My position is that we needed to hold fast and be firm and not give up Sixto Sanchez. Well, I've got some insight into how that Marlins deal went down, and guess what? No, by the way, it's not inside information. I'd already been fired at the time, but done a lot of trades like that. When you're trading someone like JT Realmuto, you have a list of players who are must includes, and you go to the different teams. You say, if you want him, Sixto will be in the deal. Atlanta, if you want him, X will be in the deal. Could have been Albies, whoever it was. You want him in LA, Gavin Lux will be in the deal. Dustin May will be in the deal. Whoever it is, there's someone who has to be in the deal. Hey, then you go back and you say, hey, Klentak, we're about to move him to the Braves. If you want him, let me know, but it's got to be Sixto in the deal. He then goes to his owner, Middleton. Hey, we got to put in Sixto. It's a deal worth doing. He's the best catcher in baseball. Sixto is still developing. He could end up being an ace, but JT's going to bring us to the promised land. That's on you. Unbelievably disappointing to me. Truly unbelievably disappointing that John would do that. I know John well, and he's good.